Good. Do you need a white?
Was that for white balance?
Yeah.
Awesome. Hold it for 1 second and speak into the mic one more time.
Sure. 10-9-8-7-6-5-4-3-2-1. 10-9-8-7-6-5-4-3-2-1. You got me? All right, everybody good?
Good afternoon again to everyone. Thanks for being here and participating and keeping our community informed. First, I want to just start by telling you that I am extremely proud of our city staff and the ways that they have continued to provide all major services to the community over the past several weeks. Our IS team has probably done 6 to 8 months worth of work in this time period in rebuilding and upgrading our systems based on next generation best practices. We've done all this in the midst of 3 holidays, including this weekend that folks will be working in 2 major weather events. I want the community to remember that we are committed to the prompt resolution of all issues that are impacting services, and we're focusing significant time and resolve towards investigating and remediating any disruptions that the cyber event caused. We're dedicated to fully restoring all city resources and functionalities in as timely a manner as possible, and we appreciate the public's patience as we're doing those. As just a recall, when we were first made aware of the activity, the city promptly took our systems offline so we could isolate any unauthorized activity, and we kicked off our incident response protocol. So since the event, we've had great progress in restoring our internal services and continuing to maintain the existing services to our community. We continue to use our state and local agency support, including the North Carolina National Guard, the North Carolina Local Government Information Systems Strike Team, the Department of Emergency Management, North Carolina Department of Emergency Management, the FBI, Secret Service, and the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. We are still in the midst of an ongoing investigation, so we cannot release a lot of details on that investigation. We're working closely with these partners to understand the nature and the scope of what actually happened in this event. And again, we're restoring our network as safely and as quickly as possible. We are following their recommendations completely to make sure that our systems have the latest best practices in how we're providing our infrastructure network to serve the community. Some things that I will confirm today, as we've talked about before, the event did occur on December 26, 2024, which was during a holiday. There was unauthorized access to and encryption of certain systems on the city's networks by an unauthorized actor. As I mentioned, for cautionary purposes, the decision was made to take certain city software computer systems and to disconnect completely from the internet to prevent any continued incursion into our systems. According to North Carolina law, no contact has been made or will be made with the responsible actors in this event. As I mentioned, again, since the incident occurred, the city has made great progress towards return to all network operations, accomplishing a great deal of work in a short time. And we will continue to work on the restoration and rebuild of our infrastructure and all applications. Currently in progress, all of our major systems actually are operational and have been rebuilt, and our IS staff is working on our end user interfaces with those. So we're still working to make sure that all of our systems are completely safe before we turn everything back on to the public. As we mentioned before, this incident has not impacted, despite some rumors to the contrary, operations in the Winston-Salem Police Department, the Fire Department, or the utilities operations. These departments are conducting business as usual and are not impacted. There are also some questions about planning services. Since the cyber incidents, we have issued over 1,100 permits and have completed over 2,500 inspections. Our planning service staff continues to operate to provide the businesses to their services to the community. There's been some confusion, so we want to make sure that you're aware that we are aware that there was a separate incident that was unrelated to our incident at all, that impacted a third-party corporate vendor, Power Schools, which is used by numerous school districts nationwide to manage and maintain student and employee records, including the Winston-Salem Forsyth County school system. The school system did not have any, that was not related to the school system, nor was it related to the city in any way. That was a private vendor. We'll continue to work around the clock to restore the network as safely and securely as possible, and we're using the state and local guidelines to do that. We do not want to rush our recovery efforts. As we bring things online, we're reviewing and evaluating all of our security tools, our security processes, and all of our product protocols to ensure that the public is protected as we move forward. Folks have asked, well, can you guarantee this will never happen again? And we cannot. But we can tell you that we've taken all the precautions, and we believe our system is probably the safest network, local government network in the United States at this point in time. The investigation has not confirmed if any personal information was impacted as a result of the event, but that remains a primary focus of the criminal investigation. If personal information was impacted, we will communicate with the affected parties in accordance with all the applicable laws. Again, we are not aware of any identity theft or fraud as a result of this incident. We thank the community for their continued understanding and flexibility during this time, and I'll take a few questions.
Mr. City Manager, you mentioned the date that you discovered it. Have you determined when the intrusion occurred? Was it the same day? Had it been done for some time previously? And have you pinpointed when that actually happened?
Again, all of that's part of the investigation of what's going on. What we have pinpointed is that on the 26th was the date that we had activity on our network that was deemed unauthorized, that was creating concerns that we needed to shut the system down.
That was the first time you became
That was the first time we were aware that we had an issue there that needed to be dealt with.
And are you able to say, was it through any particular city department that found this out, or how that sort of?
No, it actually, when the systems went down, it affected multiple parts of our system, so that there was several different departments that actually were seeing problems with their interactions on that day. So again, that's part of the investigation as to how that actually happened, but it was discovered in multiple ways.
So it sounds like it's not just a case of that you took everything down. Some things were made inoperable by the intrusion, and then you took everything down. Is that the correct sequence? Once the incursion was discovered, they took down all systems that would provide any outside access into our system as a precautionary measure to make sure that whoever was maybe trying to get into our system from outside that was unauthorized would no longer have the ability to do that. So that's why all systems were taken down, and then we were bringing things back up as we've dealt with all of the safety and security protocols to make sure that there's no threat of, no possibility of this particular threat getting back in. Yes, sir.
So, you said no contact has been made with the actors. Does that mean that there was a demand for money? Was this a ransomware attack?
I have had no contact with them. The city, or no one in the city has had any contact from them or with them.
But does that mean that there was or was not a demand for money?
There has been no contact, so there's no demand for anything.
You said that people should not be concerned about their personal information, but it's my understanding that city payroll was affected. So if city payroll was affected, is there a possibility that city employees' personal information may have been compromised?
I think that's a mischaracterization of what's going on. When systems were taken down, the payroll system was one of those that was taken down. So the city, our team in finance and HR and all of our timekeepers are in the various departments are working diligently to get all of our information for payroll in the systems that we have. But the last payroll that we did We ran a payroll, the previous payroll, we basically duplicated that for our employees so that they would be paid. And then this week, we're working on getting that payroll into our system. So it wasn't that I don't have any information that the payroll was impacted by anybody outside of our organization, but with the systems down, that made it difficult to run a payroll. And so we had to run it as a alternate method, and then it's being corrected this week.
Are bills being generated? Like there are folks in the community who are saying that they're not getting or receiving water bills or other utility bills.
To my knowledge, all the utility bills are being generated, but I have to double check on that one. And on the utility bills, then again, there's a variety of ways for people to pay those utility bills. Send a check. You can come by if you're paying cash. You can come to the cashier's office. So there's plenty of ways for people to pay their utility bills. But as we've stated on numerous occasions, at this point, we're not adding any late fees or turning off services to people that may have been caught up as typically we're paying online, and then we're not able to do so at this time.
And are you able to determine water usage so that you can like accurately bill someone for water usage right now, or has that been disrupted as well?
To my knowledge, we can still read all the water meters.
Okay. So if somebody does want to pay a bill and they go ahead and pay a bill, since the system is down, how are you taking care of that to ensure that people want to know that their bill is being paid and they're not going to get something in the mail later on saying that they didn't pay this bill when in actuality they did come to pay it in person?
If you come and pay it in person, you will actually get a receipt that you can take with you that will prove you paid.
Thank you.
Speaking on preventative measures, are you guys looking to hire another third party, anti-ransomware or anti-cyber event,
We already have cyber security insurance, and so we have a team of folks that are working with us that are helping with this cyber event and would help with any future cyber event that takes place. So that's already in place, and that was a part of our protocols in
So
working through this.
going forward, you're keeping the same system in place in hopes that this doesn't happen again?
No, I think that's a mischaracterization as well. The systems that we have in place right now have all been completely rebuilt and upgraded. So we're a large, complex organization, so there was a lot of systems that were out there. If there's a glass half full scenario on this, again, our IS team has been able to push out all complete new upgrades and updates to all of our systems that are being brought back online so that we will have the latest in security measures for all of our systems. So that moving forward, we will continue to do that. This puts us in a better place moving forward. Any other questions?
Just one last one.
How exactly is the National Guard involved? Like, what are they doing? Are they investigating how this happened? Are they helping you with restoring the system? How exactly is that working?
No, the National Guard, their unit is investigating the incident. They were on site for 2 weeks, I believe, and now they're continuing to help monitor our systems from remote locations.
I know you said there's no contact, there has been no contact made with the people responsible for this, but do you guys know anything? Was this a group? Was this an individual that did this?
No, I can't say who, if it was a group, a person, an individual, whatever. Okay?
I've got a question, but I'm waiting for the mic.
How has this impacted, internal works for the city? How are you guys still keeping business moving?
All of our city departments have a various continuation of operations plans. So for the most part, the impacts of this are internally being seen by folks trying to conduct their internal business. So we have limited amount of impacts to the public at large. So our employees are doing the things that they need to do to make sure that they can continue to keep business going. In some cases, that means that they're doing more manual recording of information that's being processed, or as I said, payments coming in. They're giving written receipts back to individuals where we would have had to been able to print those. So it's more time and effort on the part of our individual employees to do that.
Yes. How much is this costing the city to, investigate, to replace systems, buy new software, bring in experts? It sounds like it could be adding up to be a pretty expensive operation.
We do not have any specific information now on how much what the cost is of dealing with this event. So I don't have any information to share yet at this point in time. As I mentioned, we do have cyber insurance, so that will help cover some of our costs, or maybe all of our costs that are ongoing with this. Our folks are tracking all of the information on what efforts we're making, what expenditures we have to make to deal with this, and so that'll be a part of our settlement with our cyber insurance.
And are you planning to put systems back on or parts of the web back on as they get fixed, or do you plan sort of like a general grand rollout? And sort of as a follow-up to that, if you are putting things on gradually, are you planning some sort of update on the splash page that you get to say, okay, this is now running, that's now running?
Yeah, absolutely. The website has continued to be operational this whole time, so people can go to the website and get information on city services. There are certain components of the website that are not available, like online payment. But the website itself is up and is running, and we're continuing to provide updates as they become available on what's going on. And as systems are brought back online, we will make a release to let you know about those that have come back online, and to hopefully help us let the residents, public know what's going on.
What's been the hardest thing to sort of do manually now that that you've had to sort of switch back maybe to some old-fashioned system?
For me, it's lack of having access to a printer readily available at my desk. So I've got to do a workaround to get things printed off that we have to do. Probably the most difficult thing is routing around things that have to have multiple signatures, and working on just processes that we've automated that now you have to go back to remembering how we've done them for decades in the past as manual operations. Some of our younger colleagues may not have had to do that, but that's what I had to do when I started in this business. All right. Thank you all for coming and helping us keep our public informed. Thank you very much.